What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the other day, Sledgehammer addressed a ton of things in the Reddit community. For anybody who missed out on it, trust me, I have a lot of stuff to go ahead and showcase with you guys. But one thing in particular really stood out, and that is some changes to the skill-based matchmaking. Now, they didn't go ahead and directly mention skill-based matchmaking, but they did go ahead, and like I said, I'm going to discuss a lot of stuff after this, but I have to go ahead and just line this up right away because this is huge. They are going to be going ahead and testing out non-disbanding lobbies. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, this is a huge deal for Call of Duty because that goes hand in hand when it comes to skill-based matchmaking in general. You know, skill-based matchmaking is already rough enough because every single game that you finish, it kicks you out and reevaluates your stats. But with the lobbies no longer disbanding, that means it is not going to be rebooting you and reevaluating your stats every single game. Now, it might be, evaluating you every single game that you play against your current opponents, but they're never going to get booted. They're never going to get removed. And maybe when people slowly start trickling out, more people will start coming in and they'll start, really shuffling things and trying to make it more competitive, or when you back out of that game or that experience, it will reevaluate your past 4 or 5 matches you played in that singular game. Who knows how it's going to work out? But at the end of the day, all I know is that this right here is something that we have been begging Call of Duty to reintroduce into their titles. It has slipped into multiple betas here and there, and we always say, oh my god, it's in the beta, this is fantastic, we needed this. This is just outstanding stuff right here. Right? We always say that, and they ignore us. And right when the official launch comes, disbanding lobbies is right back in action. This is the first time where they actually have openly said something about it and have said that they are going to test it in the experimental playlist. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our time to shine. When they go ahead and implement that into the experimental playlist, I hope everybody goes ahead and tries it out, gives it a shot, and, just please make sure this gets implemented into the core experience, because it's not just for skill-based matchmaking, but it's also for just, building relationships, having fun experiences, even when you get into a competitive lobby and you want a rematch. All of these things are non-existent because of disbanding lobbies. So once again, Sledgehammer proving themselves to just be the superior development team. If you have to compare it between Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer Games, Sledgehammer is just demolishing it right now. Again, you could say what you want to say about them, and I know they were overly flooded with a trillion skill-based matchmaking questions in the comments section, but they handled it perfectly. They covered a lot of important things, which, again, we're going to be covering right now, and at the same time, they're going to be trying to improve the skill-based matchmaking experience on top of it. Like, low-key, they're pretty goated for all of this stuff. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's going to be something that, the community's a little split on because some don't enjoy this because it can become a bit toxic. But for, some sweaty players as well, or anybody who enjoys streaks, this is just, 2 thumbs up, especially from me. But as you can see right here, someone asked about streak looping over on the Reddit post, and Sledgehammer answered by saying, this is something that the team definitely wants to try out. One of the cool things about our experimental playlists is that they give us a chance to see how things work out in the wild. Expect to see something like this in the future experimental playlist, and make sure to share your feedback in the survey we place in the MOTD. Once again, I love this experimental playlist because they could try things out that, the community is a little split on. They don't have to, destroy anything about the core aspect of the game, and they can let us go at it. It's a whole playlist where we can just throw, cool, creative stuff like this that, we have no clue who really enjoys, who really hates, and then let the community decide. This is how it should be done across the board for pretty much all features. But at the end of the day, I think it's really cool that they're going ahead and listening, and that they are thinking about going ahead and reintroducing streak looping. I miss being extra toxic with it. I get it. It's really annoying when you're on the other side of it and you're getting absolutely pummeled. But man, when you are on the right side of streak looping and you are going to town with it, it's one of the best things in the universe. Next up, as you can see right here, I'm not going to go ahead and read this all off because it's a lot of information, but basically, Sledgehammer Games is going ahead and saying that they're trying to find a right balance for everything. They are definitely going ahead and working across the board, with all the weapons. They saw that in the beta, the SMGs were outgunning AR significantly, so they're trying to balance it out, and I guess during that process, the SMGs got absolutely hit. But they said that they want the rest of the SMGs to be on par with the Rival 9, which I semi-agree. I like the Rival 9. I think it's a really, reliable SMG, and it does exactly what it should do. You can breach and clear houses, you can, run and gun throughout alleyways, and you can really engage up close and personal and not really worry about if you see a battle rifle or an AR. The rest of the SMGs, if I see like like I said, a burst weapon or the ACR or, anything that's a beefy boy gun, I get scared up close and personal when it should be the complete opposite. When you see me with an SMG, right up in your building, you should be panicking. So that is their goal right now, and I completely back it up, and I hope that they can find a right balance to these SMGs. We don't want them beaming across the map, even though, it can be kind of comical at times. But, we want them to be in their right place, and right now, too many of them feel way too outclassed across the board. Next up, Sledgehammer did go ahead and touch upon the Ghost perk in Modern Warfare 3. Obviously, it's working as intended. You're supposed to move, so it can work and function. But there is, a bit of aggression when it comes to, the second, literally the millisecond that you stop, you're already on the radar. So they're going to be working with that. They're going to find a nice in-between, a middle ground. So, it's not like, you can't stop at all. You have to be moving 24/7, nonstop, all day long, or else you're going to pop up on the radar. They're going to try to, find it in between. Also, I am so happy they touched upon this. Again, I know not too many people are going to care about this because a lot of console players watch me. But when it comes to PC, yes, the mouse input is a bit, wonky. And honestly, I thought they were just going to keep it. They weren't going to, mess with it. And realistically, it wasn't like the end of my world when it came to playing Modern Warfare 3. I could still play it and have a good time. But, it's still noticeable, and I was like, you know what? I guess I could put up with this. But it's good to hear that Sledgehammer is going to be touching upon this and trying to make the keyboard and mouse experience a bit smoother when it comes to their game, because honestly, it is a big one. But, of course, I feel like console definitely outweighs PC a lot of the times nowadays. Even, console players are moving to PC to get better performance and then just bringing a controller with them. So it's understandable, but it's nice to see that, mouse and keyboard players still get a bit of love when it comes to the, development behind the scenes. Also, this is a massive one for the whole overall community as well. The Groot skin is going to be removed from the game, and it's going to be reworked. Now, personally, I never, had a problem with it. I see it perfectly fine. I engage with it perfectly fine. It's never been, a massive advantage for anyone, for me at least, personally. But the whole community absolutely despises it. So, it is what it is, right? Nobody likes it. Everybody thinks it's way too tough to see, recognize. So I guess they're going to take it out and, rework it to make it a lot more vibrant, which, again, so be it. I really don't care. I'm just happy once again, something that the community has been complaining about since the second it's been introduced is finally going to go ahead and get reworked. So, everybody can be happy again. Again, a huge focus on Sledgehammer just simply listening. A lot of these aspects would have been ignored by Infinity Ward, not even acknowledged. And here we are, and Sledgehammer is touching upon everything across the board. You'll love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. They also touched upon adding some more remastered weapons from the Modern Warfare franchise. So I'm guessing guns from Call of Duty 4 up to Modern Warfare 3. I don't know exactly what their plans are here. But man, it'll be great to see some remasters come back. And they're also thinking about testing out higher play counts for these maps. Now, yes, indeed, 10v10 is coming into it might have actually came in today, but I'm not sure. It's coming in soon. But they're also thinking of doing like 20v20 or, just testing out how many players actually work on these maps, which to me is phenomenal. I love when we are able to do this type of stuff, and I loved combat pacing. I wish we can, get that back in the game. I'm assuming we're not getting that back in the game, but the fact that they are going to test out different player counts and, put in different modes like that is going to be great for the overall community. Because even though I personally really do enjoy the maps on 6v6, I know a lot of people think certain maps are horrible for it and would much rather play a higher player count on them. So, this is great news for everybody across the board. People who still want to play 6v6 can still play 6v6, while at the same time, if others want higher player counts, they can get that as well. Just, adds more variety to all players out there. Overall, I gotta be honest, I love that Sledgehammer is doing stuff like this. The fact that they're so open with the community, they are willing to put themselves out there, even though they know they're going to get bombarded by a bunch of stuff that's out of their control. Like I said, the whole Reddit board before they started answering stuff was just packed with skill-based matchmaking, which again, I get that we all want to stick it to Activision, but that's no use to them. They can't do anything with that, nothing at all. So it's good to see that some people still went out of their way to give really good questions, and that they were open about a lot of these questions, things that we would probably never even hear from Infinity Board or even Treyarch at this point. I'm hoping Treyarch follows up in the same exact path as Sledgehammer Games here, because they're setting a great foundation for, communication between the developers and their communities. But at the end of the day, guys, go down in the comment section, leave your opinions down below about how you feel about everything. Honestly, the biggest, takeaway of this is disbanding lobbies. I cannot wait to see disbanding lobbies reintroduced into Modern Warfare 3, the experimental playlist. And I hope that the community really enjoys it and we can vote it back into the official playlist. And man, that will make matchmaking tremendously better. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, leave a like if you enjoyed, leave a dislike if you hated it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time. And last but not least, we do stream over on Kick. If you guys want to hang out there, I have a link to that channel as well as all my other socials down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.